Hello everyone, and welcome to another sketchbook tour. So, as I mentioned before, in my last sketchbook tour video, I'm really trying to amp up my sketchbook production. And one of the ways that I'm doing that is by actually doing the Sketchbook a Month challenge, which is hosted by Kaiser Studio Productions, and it is a sketchbook a month that only makes you draw, once a day. And you have one page you need to fill up, so it's either one page full of marker or, marker or stuff that bleeds through to the other side, because then obviously you can't draw on the other side, or it's 2 pages, so front and back of like pencils or inks or something like that. So this allows me to just do a picture a day or a couple pictures of stuff like that. And it forces me to draw every single day, which is great. And it's not too much. So it's not like, oh my goodness, I got to finish 20 pages. So, and what's unique about this one is that each challenge, or the challenge, is sponsored by a couple people. And so there is a big prize that you can win at the end. And then there were prizes that were given as you purchase the books for the 3-month challenge. So when you purchase the books, you also got like an extra sketchbook and some pens and stuff like that. I'll make sure to put a link to the card, or I'll put a link in the card for the video that was put up for the Sketchbook a Month, so you can check it out and maybe even join for the next one that's going to be starting in April. So, definitely be looking out for that. I know that on the Instagram page, Sketchbook a Month, they announce stuff like that. So, but definitely be on the lookout for that. And this is my book, and as you can see, I always put stickers all over everything, so this one's no different. And I definitely had to represent Ninja Empire because that's what's going to be my focus hopefully soon in 2018. And so the first book, which was themed, so all the months are themed, and the first month was original content. So anything that you wanted to do that doesn't belong to someone else. So the IP doesn't belong to someone else. So I figured I'd probably be doing a lot of Ninja Empire stuff. So what better way than to represent it than with the stickers that I created. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. So this is my first one, and I really didn't know what I was doing. So I figured, I was like, oh, well, let's try and create a character or something like that. And I don't know, it was a start. So I like the idea of a really big ninja-esque type person, but as you can tell, the design was really fast and quick and stuff, so there wasn't really much to it. Then I have a character that did have this kind of basket head thing, and then I follow a person online on Instagram, and his name is I Am Henry, or Henry I Am, something like that. And he does a book called Hanzo, and his main character also has this basket. And so I really didn't want to follow suit with that, so I might actually change it to this type of basket, but I think I'm leaning towards this idea, this kind of hat. And so I think I'm going to push on with this idea, but I don't know yet, so there'll be more development for that. And then random, just random stuff, nothing actually concrete there, just scribbling some stuff down. Then, as I always do, I come to hoods because I like drawing hoods. I like hoods in my characters, but I tend to suck at them, so I was trying to get some practice in there. And then some armor and weapon development. I think that this one's pretty cool. I might actually have a character that uses that. And this one's interesting. I don't know who it would go for, but these two are more fantasy than what I'm trying to go for with Ninja Empire. So I don't know, maybe some quick adjustments, or maybe not. Maybe some foreigners will use those weapons, and that will be the unique thing that they do. I don't know. I really don't know. I think I was trying to think of like an Oni or something, something that some of the ninjas will have to fight eventually, and trying to mix some like sci-fi-ish type, and completely breaking my rules of the 4 arms, and you need an extra torso to do it. I figured, what, if we're gonna break the rule, let's go ahead and have wings and an extra set of arms coming out of the same socket. So don't exactly know how it would work in the back, but in the front it looks pretty interesting. Yeah, fantasy dragon worm type deal with this weird fur ball. I don't know. It was fun to do. I was just sitting think I was sitting at the doctor's office creating that, so just trying to come up with some stuff that would be fun to use. It might make an appearance in the comic, it might not. Drawing some ladies, trying to get a look, not for anyone in particular, but trying to come up with a look. Then just ninja design. So I do these profiles. If you followed me before, you know that this is how I like doing my character design or my character studies. It starts off with a profile, and if there's something that I actually like, then I go forward and I create the full body and stuff like that. So what I'm working on with this one is one of the characters that I want to explore, the Black Dragon, and trying to figure out how fantasy or how ninja I want to make him. So there have been a couple drawings that I've done in the previous sketchbook one, but you know, keeping it going, trying to figure out where and how exactly I want him to look. More profile character designs. I like this one. He might actually end up being like the sand ninja, because this just kind of reminded me with the big part right here, just reminded me of like a breathing apparatus, and it was simple, and I just think that it'll be interesting to have something like that as someone who's underground. There are days where drawings just don't work, especially like right here. I stink at hands, so I'm glad for next month's sketchbook because it's all hands, so I'm hoping that will help me out a little bit. More weapon designs. You know, I tend to draw these real fantasy weapon designs instead of practical ones, but I don't know, seeing this maybe as like a really big weapon, I don't know. A design that really just didn't work, like that mask just did not work at all, but I figured I'd finish it out because I spent too much time on it. Here's another look at the Black Dragon. I'm really liking how this is, so it would really push into a fantasy ninja, and so I'm really liking the way this works, and so started making weapons that I think would work with him. And I came to this, but I think there still could be a little bit more adjustments, but I really do like the way that this one looks. Some people told me to do this one just in case, you know, the blade broke off, there were still like spikes to do it, but I don't know. I'm partial to this one. What do you guys think? What weapon should I give him? More character profiles, little monster. Doing some silhouettes. I generally don't do these, but every now and then it's fun to do, so I like the way this guy looks, so he might end up being something. You know, like agent guy, you know, close cropped. I really wasn't making anything with this one. I was just kind of doing a body study. That's why he has no face, which might be interesting, like a ninja of disguise. So he literally has no face, or at least that's the illusion that he gives off. So he might end up being something too, I don't know. Doing thumbnails to try and come up with some posters and whatnot. None of these really struck my fancy. This one still catches me every time, so I might end up doing that. That's the guy with the basket, so I might actually do something with that, but I don't know yet. Then me trying to create the look for my android caretaker. So this is for a project or a challenge that I'm doing with Ty Ramza. He is currently the art director over at Konami, and so we're doing illustrations. Like, he does illustrations more and I do character designs. So yeah, so the idea was new beginnings. So I'm creating this character who's a caretaker, and the idea is that in these kind of pods are humans, and so they, you know, humans are growing, and so you have this android character that I kind of went and developed, taking care of all the babies that are being produced in the world. And what I wanted to do was kind of have a look where she's taking care, you know, she's holding it and she's pointing to the little baby like, hey, how you doing? You know, like parents do when they're looking at their kids. But, you know, also still, I like this one because it's really like connecting the feeding tube or the energy tube, holding the baby, and then also still going like, hey, I see you, trying to be all loving with it. So I think that one might be where I go. Have this month to finish the illustration. Then more weapon designs. I really do enjoy this one. I like that one, and I really like this one. So I think that might end up being something which is really cool. Oh my goodness, my computer is going crazy. All right, so this was a quick design that I put together for one of the royal guards that I think I want to do. And, you know, stuff's off, he's not aligned and all that good stuff, but it gives me a good idea of where I want to go, and I like the layered effect, so I think I'm going to go with that and try and develop that a little bit more. Going more with more deeper fantasy. You know, with all this design stuff, really doesn't make sense, but hey, it looks cool. I really am enjoying this guy right here. Sort of a snake-like or monster-like reptile type ninja, and I like it because it could still be a human, but maybe someone who's been pushed off, you know, so they're like, oh, you know, you're shunned, we don't like you, and then he's coming back as this demon snake type deal. I really like the way that one came out, so I might develop that further. So random character study. Robot. Just so not ninjas, but just robot. I don't know. Like I said, you can do whatever you want. So, and then towards the end, I can tell you that I started falling behind, and so I was like, well, let's get some action poses in here, you know, and try and do some gesture poses. I highly recommend doing gesture poses because, you know, they help, and they're easy, they're fast. You only do a couple seconds or 2 minutes. Like these are all 2 minutes, so you know. Get to do a little extra stuff. I like this one. I think that one came out pretty cool. And then there again, you know, the non-face. So maybe it also is someone who was dejected and sent away, and so they feel as though they have to hide themselves and stuff like that. So it might be interesting. Just more gestures to round out the book. That's where it ended. So that was my January sketchbook. I'm working on some extra ones, so hopefully in February I'll have 2 or 3, who knows. But I'll definitely have one because I want to keep going with the sketchbook a month that I'm doing with Kaiser Studio. Here's the other book, so you know it's coming. And like I said, stickers. There's stickers everywhere. So yeah, there you go. That was my January sketchbook tour. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe. Thank you very much, and I will see you at the next video. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to check out some of my other videos, click on the link on your right. Or, if you're interested in a more behind-the-scenes and personal look at what I do on a day-to-day basis, please click on the link that leads you to the vlog. Thank you very much, and we'll see you at the next video.